Recording. Okay. In To the Mothers in Brazil, Salve, Regina, where the score gives a lot of suggestions about improvisation. And I've made now a special playlist that it's not ideas for Bach to Brazil, it's actual. So this is the actual pieces that we're going to do. And there are 3 different recordings of this piece in that playlist. And I'll send the link in the next noticias. One recording, the one where they have a very, very live acoustic, the very first one that I ever sent to you. I think they're either outdoors or semi-outdoors and they're on steps. That's just a straight performance of what's in the score. They don't always obey the repeat sign. Sometimes they skip a repeat sign or they repeat more than it says in the score, but other than that, it's note for note what's on the score. That is how we would do it. It's one of the pieces I want to do in our recording on the 5th of September, and that is how we would do it for that recording. We won't have any other musicians or percussion or anything else. We'll just do it straight. The other 2 recordings are 2 quite different ways of improvising around this piece, and that's we'll use those as inspiration. Someone's just joining us, but I don't know who it is because they just have a phone number. So that would be we can. I think I want to work with you as a choir once we're meeting again, and work out how we as a group would like to improvise for this piece. So this is a lot of talk because we need to set everything up for this piece. So we first of all need to learn the song as it is. So division of parts, there's a little bit of fiddling we need to do because of the small number of men in the choir. So I need to sort of go through this with you. Essentially, sopranos, when there's 1 soprano part, you all sing the soprano part. When there are 2, Marg and Marilyn on soprano 1, Serona, Yaz and Jan on soprano 2. Okay, and I'll put this in the next notice. Altos I haven't worked out yet, and I just need to check with you guys who prefers to sing higher and who prefers to sing lower in the altos. So, Pauline, what's your preference? Do you prefer to be a higher alto or a lower alto? Open your mic.
I think that I usually have sung the lower part. I usually was singing with Peppy, and she usually sings the lower part, doesn't she? But I don't mind.
Okay, well let's see how that works. If you and Peppy, because Peppy's really a mezzo, she's capable, she's good on the high notes as well. So let's see how other people feel. So Priscilla, where do you prefer to be? Higher or lower alto?
Well, I don't really have a preference, so whatever the other people aren't singing works. I guess it sounds like higher.
Sorry?
It sounds like a higher part since Pauline and Peppy usually sing the lower one.
Well, there are other altos, so see.
So, and Terry? Terry, do you prefer to be higher or lower alto? You need to open your mic. Can't hear you.
Press your space bar and hold it.
It's not working. Terry, higher or lower alto? Signal, high alto or low alto?
She said higher.
Higher, okay. Put
Great.
Terry there, and who have we got? And Marjorie, what's your preference? Microphone, Marjorie. Can't hear you, Marjorie.
I don't mind. It depends on how high it goes. But I think it's fairly standard, alto.
Yeah, well, look, I might put you on second alto.
Yeah, I usually do sing second alto.
Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask Peppy to learn both because I've got to keep her occupied. And when we're together, I can decide because it's all going to be a matter of balance. So, okay, we've got Priscilla and Terry on first alto, Pauline and Marjorie on second alto, and Peppy learning both.
And on YouTube, there's an alto line practice tape.
Okay, folks, let me tell you now, if you've got links to things like that, send them to me and David, and we'll check them out, see if they're suitable. somebody sent me a learning thing for the Bach, but it wasn't in the right key, that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
send it to me, I'll check it out, and if it's going to help, I'll tell people. Now, the men are a little bit more complicated, so I'm going to go through the whole piece. So at the beginning, altos, you sing that Salve, Regina, Marte, Misericordiae, ad te, clamamus exules filiae eve. We're going to learn it as per the score, and then we'll vary it when we all get together. So you sing that twice, then sopranos come in the two parts. We do that twice, very straightforward. Okay, letter A over the page, on page 6. I want Clive on the bass line, and I want Gary and Rod on the tenor line so that you can divide. But David, you need to also sing the second tenor, because when we get to that C sharp that gets held, you're going to be on that. Okay, so Gary sing first tenor, Rod and David sing second tenor, and then when it goes into the held C sharp, David holds that on his own, and Gary and Rod sing where you divide the ad te clamamus and the manus mama mama mama. Yeah? Understand? And Clive, you just sing the bass line for that section. It doesn't seem to have bar numbers, so for all of figure A, and that all gets sung twice. Now, when we get to page 7, it's Gary on the tenor, strike Clive, Rod and David on the first bass, and Clive on the second bass. Okay. And sopranos dividing as we've done before, and altos and second sopranos hold that C. So it's going to be quite a strong C sharp being held there at the end of page 7, because it's second sopranos, altos and tenors all holding a unison C sharp. Over the page, note on page 8, the tenor, there are 2 tenor parts, but one of them is sung the first time and the other is sung the second time. So Gary, you get to sing both. So you do a held C sharp. We might allocate an alto to sing that C sharp with you so that you can take a breath. All altos be prepared for that, and I'll choose when we're all together. Plus an alto. Don't know who it will be yet, but all be prepared to do that. So Gary, you sing the held C sharp the first time through, and then onto page 9 you've got text, and then the second time through you sing the Salve Regina Marte, blah blah blah. Altos, you divide on this one.
Where are we? Oops.
We're at date. Letter C. Altos are dividing, and Rod and David on first bass and Clive on second bass. And you'll see the basses divide into 3 at the bottom of page 8. So then it's Rod, David in the middle, and Clive on the bottom. Okay. Any questions so far?
Yeah, that second alto part goes low.
It does. Well,
That's all right.
it's not that. It's only an A. Wait till you get to the swingle singers. That's within the choral alto range, apparently, which the standard range for choral altos is about a G to a C, but you know, it often goes further than that. Okay, then we get to the bottom of page 9, and the same system, Gary on tenor, David and Rod on first bass and Clive on second, and when the basses split, we put David in the middle, Rod on top and Clive on the bottom. Okay, over the page to page 10. Now it's a different arrangement for the men. So Gary and Rod on the tenor at letter E, David and Clive on the bass at letter E. And women, we need to do a little bit of trickery here. You sing your parts as written. Sopranos sing the soprano line, altos sing the alto line. You see that you come to a unison F sharp at the end of the second bar. Altos, you're going to hold that note, and sopranos are going to drop it. As soon as you've sung that quaver, sopranos are going to drop it and divide for the alleluias. Okay? And we do that twice. Later down the track, those may become solos, in which case the rest of the sopranos would hold the F sharp. But for now, until I hear the group together, I can't make that decision. So that's how we'll do it. Moving right along. Rod, are you okay to stay on the tenor? Actually, yes, you do need to. Rod, where are you, Rod? Are you okay to sing tenor so far? Yep, great. So stick with the tenor part there. And David and Clive on the bass lines. And page 11, second bar, Gary and Rod, as soon as you've sung that C sharp, cut it. So in the second bar of page 11, you've cut the C sharp because the altos are holding it.
And the sopranos.
Yeah, I'll get to them. They're not holding it. Just the altos are holding it. So you cut the C sharp and sing the alleluias, and keep doing that to the end. And we repeat those last two bars as many times as we want. Okay, so and David and Clive on first and second bass, and sopranos, second bar of 11. As soon as you've sung the unison C sharp, you drop it and you go back into the alleluias. So we have soprano 1, soprano 2, Gary and Rod singing alleluias together. Yeah, is that all right? All cool? Now, shall we have a go at singing it? This will be very interesting. Can't wait till we can all sing together again.
Are we going to sing all the repeats that are written here?
Just wondering, just for the purpose of, or I might just break it up into bits. For the purpose of just learning it, we don't need to do the repeats really. I'll do it section by section. So let's do page 1. If they're repeated, if they're different texts, yes. So let's do page 1, no repeats, just so we know what's going on. So we need this Salve, Regina, Mater misericordiae, tate clamamus exules filii. And don't hang on to that last syllable. We need the rest. Okay. So you just sing that twice, altos. You sing it in that first 4 bars, and then you sing the next 4 bars. It's the same, and sopranos join you. No repeats for now. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Regina, Mater misericordiae, ate clamamus exules filii. Salve Regina, Mater misericordiae, clamamus exules filii. Okay, and then we go into our parts. I can't play all these notes, so soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. 1, 2, 3. Salve Regina, repeat. Stopping. Any questions there? Because I couldn't really play everything. You sort of know what to do.
I don't quite understand what the altos are singing in that.
In that party? You're singing the alto part.
Yep.
Sorry. Mate misericordia. I'll do it again. One, two,
Oh, hang on. So we're just holding that one note, the F, the F sharp all the way along on.
yeah. So you stay on the alto line. You don't have
Yeah.
to be different to the score. But let's
But
look at the part.
because the words aren't written there, I'm not quite sure what syllable we're singing.
Well, the first time through, you'll continue the e, Mate misericordiae. The second time, eve, which is the same sound again, e.
Okay.
So let's do that, altos.
Okay.
Both times through. Just the altos. Sopranos, sing along in your own time. 1, 2, 3. Salve, Regina, Mater misericordiae. Second set of words. Ate clamamus, exules Okay with that? Sops, do you want to look at yours? Let's look at yours. Sopranos and altos from letter A. 1, 2, 3. Second set of words. Yeah, so you need to sing "Oh dear" and come off. Oh dear. Is that making sense, sopranos? Yeah, and it's worth at home just taking it slowly. That's the sopranos, altos, and the two parts come together. All right, bass and tenor. Let's look at the tenor and bass parts. Okay, Salve Regina. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Apologies for the wrong notes, but I think you've got the idea. Okay, then we have the Regina Celli, and we're all together. Let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, sorry, basses. We need to look at yours. So yours is really and it fits. So da 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 da. If I'm reading quavers, da 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 da. But if nobody's beating, you're hearing a new rhythm. Da 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 da. Yeah. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. I'd like basses to practice that because we want it to sound really easy. We don't want it to be alleluia, alleluia. So practice it. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Okay, sopranos. Let's just look at yours there. So first sopranos, that's something to circle and practice. And second sopranos, yeah, that's a unison octave. Let's do it. Sopranos, 1 and sorry, sopranos. I do apologise. First sopranos, you've got to go down to there.
That asterisk says second time only.
Second time, yeah, second time. So let's just make sure we know. Ah, I see what you're saying. Yes, yes, I got that wrong.
I don't know if that goes for.
Yeah, the first time you all go down. You're right, Gary.
And that F at the bottom, is that only second time or is that first time?
That's only the second time. It would have to be. So first time through, all sopranos. Regina, Hallelujah. You hold it forever. Second time, second sopranos sing that, and first sopranos sing. So let's go together. 2, 3. Regina, Hallelujah. The first sopranos, you've got to learn that. Hallelujah. 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 So you need to do the word underlay as well. So that whole little bit there is worth practicing at home. Altos. Regina Celi letare. Hallelujah. So it's hallelujah. Hallelujah. Again, circle that little bit. And tenors. That's easy. And basses. Keep that. Da, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Okay, can we move on? Okay. I want to try and find a way that I can play recordings and we all sing along. I haven't quite worked out a way to do that where you can hear it clearly on Zoom. So I'll work on that this week. Okay, O Clemens, O Pia, O Dulce Virgo Maria. So what we have here is we need to do this twice because the tenor has a first time part, which is just, and a second time. Salve Regina Mater Misericordiae, and that's got to stay even. But let's look first of all at the bass parts, because we've got our divisions. What it sounds like together, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're actually, in effect, you're singing in 3/4 across the 6/8 rhythm. Okay, so let's do that again, basses. Next time it'd be wonderful if we had all the basses, or it'd be wonderful if we could all be together. Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay, so let's just look at that. So you've got the first bar, 3 unison F sharp, then you divide. Then we've got, and the middle part just stays on the F sharp while the other 2 parts move. So David, the only time you come away from the F sharp, once we get to the 3rd, 4th bar, then you've got F sharp, you go with rod on the G sharp, then you're back into the middle, F sharp, 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 E, G sharp, F sharp. So all the time that's in 3 parts, the middle part stays on the F sharp. Okay. Let's take the second time through, tenor, and bass. See if I can do this. This is an exercise in brain neuronal growth. Okay, tenor and bass from letter C. 4, 5, 6. That's what's going on underneath the smooth movements of the women. Now let's look at the altos. Okay, altos you divide into 2 alto parts. 4, 5, 6. F sharp repeated with first altos, while the second altos have the moving line. And then sopranos, you move up. So if we have first altos and sopranos singing together, and note the end of the last bar of page 8, sopranos, you only sing the first sopranos, you only sing the A the second time. So let's do it the first time through. This is all sopranos and first altos the first time through. 4, 5, 6. Going on. Okay, and the only difference is that first sopranos the second time through from fructum go. Okay, that's the only difference. Okay, let's take all the women, and the rest of you feel free to sing your part. Okay, there's the Clements tenor. We're doing it the second time through. There's the bass note. 4, 5, 6. Just got a repeat of things we've done before to finish off, and we do it as many times as we like. Bass tenor. So if you look at all the bass part, we've just got. I can't play it. No, can't play it. You'll just have to make it up. Let's sing the last 2 bars twice. Okay, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, bass. 4, 5, 6. Repeat. And then we just do it, get softer and softer and softer. Okay.
What about the canon on page 8? The top of the page.
That's
not a half a bar.
It's an option.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be done that way. That's something we would do if we're going to be improvising. That would be incorporated into improvising. But for singing it straight from the score in our little recording session, we'll just do it as in the score. Any other questions about this one? No? Okay, let's stop recording.